Hi, children. Today we are going to learn lesson one tracing a story in your social textbook. So, they have given a big question that is nothing but the central idea. How did evolution over millions of years make us into the people we are today? Okay, understand the question. How did evolution over millions of years make us into the people we are today? Okay, so we are going to find out the reason how early humans, okay, were the big reason for who we are now. Not only that, we are going to explore regarding the human evolution and also the stages of early human evolution. What are the different types of stages of early human evolution? Early humans are nothing but they are our ancestors. We are going to see what are the stages they have crossed in order to make our life more easier to sustain nowadays. And also, we are going to find out what are the sources and evidence, what they kept as a source and evidence for us to prove about their lifestyle. So, the very first stage of early human evolution is prehistoric time. This period is considered as a large period of time which had no written records, and that's the reason this period is considered as prehistoric time. As there is no recorded history of this time to read, only with the clues left behind, archaeologists and scientists believe the first Homo sapiens came from Africa. Children, our earliest ancestors are believed to be apes' children. Okay, so in the next 1 million years, they developed and they started to stand fully erect. Okay, and that posture is called Homo erectus. Yes, this Homo erectus stage is a stage where they had well developed brains and they were able to walk upright on both feet and they were able to hold the things. And to solve everyday challenges, in those days, early humans they begin to develop and they started to use various tools. How they made those various tools? Keeping one naturally available material that is called stone. So this stone age it started from 2.4 million years ago till 2000 BCE. This BCE, what is the abbreviation of BCE is before common era. Now we people are living in common era. This happened before common era, that is 2000 years of before common era, as all the tools were made up of stone. So before 2000 years ago, that is before common era, all the tools were made up of stone. The very first stage in human evolution is primates children. This primates is the very first stage where they can't walk with two legs and where they don't have any sort of brain development. As years pass by, around 1.8 million years ago, with certain changes, Australopithecus afarensis evolved from the primates who were able to walk on two legs and they had a brain size of one third of the modern humans. And this Australopithecus afarensis who evolved from the primates during 1 million years ago, they evolved in African continent. Okay, children, another million years Homo habilis, they evolved from Australopithecus afarensis with certain changes like increased brain size and with a rudimentary speech, which means a basic speech. Rudimentary means basic speech. So, children, after a million years passed by, Homo erectus evolved from Homo habilis with much larger brain and with an advanced speech. This Homo erectus human were the one who found the fire and they were the one who were able to control the fire. Not only that, this Homo erectus humans were the one who made more sophisticated tools. Sophisticated means modern tools than their predecessors. That is Homo erectus humans were the one who made modern tools, okay, than their predecessors. Predecessors means who are their predecessors? Like primates, okay, Australopithecus afarensis, and then Homo habilis. Finally, with all sort of this development, they left Africa and they started to spread throughout Asia and Europe. So, as years passed by, Neanderthals appeared with thinking ability. So, the earliest Homo sapiens were Neanderthals. The features of Neanderthals, they had a high forehead which covers a large brain and a lower jaw with chin. So, the features of Neanderthals were exactly very similar to the modern people like us. Children, not only that, our ancestors of the present day humans developed advanced thinking. They were excellent hunters who developed modern weapons without affecting the environment. They started to spread towards North America and Australia, who were the first to develop art like cave paintings and Venus figures. Children, next we are going to see about the Stone Age. This Stone Age period lies between 2.4 million years ago to 2000 BCE. Why this period is called as Stone Age? Because many of the tools from that period were made up of stone. Our early humans, they started to develop tools using the naturally available material called stone. And that's the reason this period is called Stone Age, as each and every tool is made up of stone. Children, now we are going to see different type of stone tools which were developed by prehistoric humans who lived during different Stone Age period. So these stone tools which I have displayed now belongs to Paleolithic Age, which means Old Stone Age. So in Paleolithic Age, they developed stone tools like hand axe, scraper, chopper, grinder, hammer, arrowheads, plagues, burins. For what purpose they have invented these stone tools? In order to use those tools to scrape meat from skin and dig up plant roots. Not only that, these stone tools were developed around 2.4 million years ago, and also it was developed around 40,000 BCE to 20,000 BCE. So the stone tools which were developed around 2.4 million years ago were used to hunt larger animals also. And then now we are going to see some of the stone tools that were developed during Mesolithic Age, which means Middle Stone Age, which is a period of 10,000 BCE to 8,000 BCE. These stone tools were used to hunt animals. Now look at the names of the stone tools: bones and ivory, blade, core, knives, scissors, triangle, burin, dagger, point. Today now we are going to see the stone tools regarding Neolithic Age. Neolithic Age means New Stone Age. During this period only people developed farming. As a result, they made lots and lots of farming tools using stone. These tools were used for growing and harvesting crops. These tools were developed around 8000 BCE to 2000 BCE. During this period, people doesn't use the stone as it is for making tool. Before using it, they made the stone beautiful through polishing it. So let us see some of the stone tools: polished axes, blades, arrowheads, ring stone, sickle, plough, harpoon, and muller. So children, now we are going to see about Chalcolithic Age, which is also known as Copper Age. So in the beginning of Chalcolithic Age, what happened? People used stone along with copper for making tools. So that is why that particular age is known as Stone Copper Age. Slowly what happened? People, those who used stone along with copper, they decided to use entirely copper for making tools. So that was the beginning of the first metal age of India. So this Chalcolithic Age lies between Neolithic Age and Bronze Age. It's nothing but Chalcolithic Age lies between the end of the stone tools and the beginning of the bronze tools. This Copper Age, that is, which is also known as Chalcolithic Age, started around mid 5 millennium BC and ends with the beginning of the Bronze Age, that is 4th to 3rd millennium BC. Moreover, this Chalcolithic Age is the first metal age of India, which was a period around 3500 BCE to 2000 BCE. And this usage of metal started from Eastern Mediterranean. Hope you're clear with it. So, depending on the type of stone tools and their uses, the Stone Age is further divided into four main parts, children, like Paleolithic period, Mesolithic period, Neolithic period, Chalcolithic period. So, the first one, Paleolithic period, is nothing but old Stone Age, that is where they invented tools using stone. Then comes Mesolithic period, it's nothing but Middle Stone Age, where they developed tools like bow and arrow to hunt deer, again with a naturally available material called stone. And third, Neolithic period, that is nothing but New Stone Age, where they started farming. As a reason, they started to invent farming tools using stone. Then comes Chalcolithic period, that is Copper Age, where people stopped using stone and they entirely depend on the metal copper for making tools. So, children, now we are going to see the meanings behind each and every name of that particular period. So, Paleo means old, children, lithic meaning stone. Paleolithic Age, Old Stone Age. Mesolithic Age, Meso means middle, and that's the reason Mesolithic Age is known as Middle Stone Age. Neolithic Age, Neo means new, and that's the reason Neolithic Age is known as New Stone Age. Chalcolithic Age, Chalco means copper, okay, and that's the reason Chalcolithic Age is known as Copper Stone Age, where that was the beginning of the usage of both stone and copper tools, and later on it ended up with the copper tools. As we have seen before, it is also known as Copper Age. So, children, now let us explore the lifestyle of the people, those who lived during the different Stone Age periods. Now, let us explore first regarding the lifestyle of the people, those who lived during Paleolithic Age, which is also considered as the longest and oldest Stone Age period, where the large area of earth were also covered in ice, and the people lived like nomads. Nomads means moving from one place to another in search of food. So that was the very old Stone Age, where they did not invent anything like fire or something. So they lived as nomads. Why they have to live as nomads? Because they have to move from one place to another in search of food, and moreover in that period people ate only raw fruits and raw meat. Yes, children, they hunted and gathered wild berries, dead plants, and animals to satisfy their hunger. Not only that, during this Paleolithic age only, people discovered fire using stones. After that invention, people started to cook and eat. So they cooked meat, vegetables. Okay, not only that, they also used fire to protect themselves from wild animals. The people, those who lived in those period, that is Paleolithic period, they entirely depended on nature. Moreover, people, those who lived during Paleolithic age, they strongly believed in life after death. So in those period, if any person kicked the bucket, they used to bury them with some important items. Children, kick the bucket is an idiom, children, and the meaning of kick the bucket is died. Children, in India, regarding the Paleolithic people, evidence have been found in parts of Punjab, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka. Children, and the very important thing, the early human who lived during the Paleolithic period, they started to paint on the cave walls. We all know that people lived in caves during Paleolithic period. So they started to paint on the cave walls. So the very best example for this is Beam caves in Madhya Pradesh. If you go to Beam caves in Madhya Pradesh, you can find these kind of cave paintings over there. And this cave paintings, that is Beam caves, were discovered in 1958 by an Indian archaeologist, Dr. V.S. Wakanar. Children, now we are going to discuss about Mesolithic Age, which means Middle Stone Age. This period is actually a transition period. Transition period means changing period, okay, which lies between Paleolithic and the Neolithic Age. Over this period, what happened? The temperature on our Earth gradually it raises. As a result, the ice began to melt, where the large areas of ice sheets were replaced by the vegetation, that is forests. As a result, they started to camp near the water sources, and they also built their houses using animal skins. Where in Paleolithic period, people they lived as nomads, which means they moved from one place to another in search of food and shelter. Yes, but here they started to camp near the water sources and they built their houses using animal skins, which means they prepared themselves to stay in one place. They were hunting deers, wild pigs, wild cattle, and horses. Fishing was also an important part of their diet. So, how they survived? By hunting deers, wild pigs, wild cattle, horses, and fishing was their main source. Okay, and during this period they invented new stone tools which is called microliths. In other ways it is known as tiny stone tools, which were shaped like triangles, and the size of these stone tools is just 1 to 3 centimeter. Moreover, the evidence for the people, those who dwell during the Mesolithic period, were found in some parts of India like Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and West Bengal. Children, now we are going to discuss regarding the Neolithic Age, which is also known as New Stone Age. Over here, people started to make tools using stones just by polishing it, and they sharp the stones. That is, they started to sharp the stones and they started to polish the stones, and then they started to make tools out of it. They made lots and lots of farming tools because this was the period where they started agriculture and even they started to domesticate the animals. They lived a sedentary form of lifestyle, which means they settled in one place, that is called sedentary lifestyle. So they built their house using thick timber posts. Not only that, they used clay and stone for the strong foundation for their house. And also they used clay and stone for constructing walls of their house. But for roofs, to construct roofs, they used tree trunks, clay and hay. This was the period where they started to make fabric using animal skins. Finally, people stopped living as nomads from Neolithic period, and some of the evidence of Neolithic people were found in some parts of India like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Madhya Pradesh. Children, now we are going to explore Chalcolithic Age, which is the period where people discovered and they started to use the metal copper in wide range. But in the beginning of Chalcolithic period, people made tools out of both stone and copper, and that's the reason it is known as Stone Copper Age. But later on, Chalcolithic period is also known as Copper Age, is only because people started to make tools entirely based upon the metal copper. Especially people during this period, they made lot of farming tools because they continued farming and domesticating animals. Milk became their important part of diet. Chalcolithic period lies between Neolithic period and Bronze Age, exactly between the mid of 5th millennium BC to the end of 4th to 3rd millennium BC. Moreover, through an evidence, archaeologists proved that the people lived during Chalcolithic period lived near Mysore and places along the banks of river Narmada. Children, if we want to believe something that is true, we need some source as an evidence. Yes, so here also we came to know about our history through some sources like places, people, or objects from which knowledge about the past can be obtained. Now, archaeologists they have segregated this source as two types like primary source and secondary source. Primary source is nothing but it is like first hand information about an event, object, or person. Now, let us see some examples of primary source. The very first one is manuscripts, which is a written document. And when we take monument, it's actually a memorial, anything that preserves the memory of a person or an event. When we take cave paintings, we have lots and lots of examples for cave paintings. Yes, the best example for cave painting is Bhimbetka caves in Madhya Pradesh, which was discovered in 1958 by an Indian archaeologist, Dr. V.S. Wagner. And then we have inscriptions, children. Inscriptions means when a writing is engraved on a stone, it is known as inscriptions. And then we have artifacts. Artifact is something either made or used by humans in the past. When we take artifacts, it may be stone tools, it may be pottery vessels, or it may be any objects that are made out of stone or metal, or it may be any other weapons that are used by our early humans. Those are called artifacts. Children, when we talk about secondary source, it is nothing but second-hand information which is mainly based on primary source like manuscripts, monuments, cave paintings, inscriptions, artifacts. Yes, children. Books, magazines, journals, newspaper, and articles which are written based on the primary source are considered as secondary source of evidence. Not only that, some recorded speeches based on the primary sources are also considered as secondary source of information. Children, now let us see an interesting thing which is given as a pep activity in your book. It's all about Lucy. Okay, Lucy is nothing but a 3 million year old human skeleton which is found during the period 1974 in a place called Ethiopia. Children, over here I have displayed a picture of Mr. Donald Johnson, who is an American expert in human history, because he was the one who discovered something which was hidden under the earth. Yes, it's nothing but bones. Finally, he planned to put those together, and you know what he got? He got a human skeleton, and he named it as Lucy after a famous song. And he believed that Lucy belongs to 3.2 million years BC. Experts were thrilled, as this was the one of the oldest human skeletons that they have been found anywhere on earth. They hope that Lucy will help them to learn more about early humans. And children, you all know that particular skeleton, which was named as Lucy, belongs to Australopithecus afarensis, which was one among the different stages of human evolution.